tonight for Darfur Now?
Because it's now. I think Darfur Now is an important title because the message is we're not waiting and facing that problem now. And I think we heard about it and said, well, we want to support that message.
I mean, it's only going to get worse. It's already horrific what's happening, and the longer we wait, the worse it is. And I think we need to be active now in saying this is an important issue that we're going to vote on as individuals. We're going to vote with our time and our words, and in this case, maybe not the ability to actually go and physically be there, but to put pressure on groups like the UN, like our own governments, and say this is important. We need to stop this before it gets worse than it is already.
There are many organizations. What is it about this particular cause or this particular plight that really resonates with you guys?
Well, we were recently really impacted by Africa as a whole and the issues primarily faced with poverty and AIDS there. And as you learn about Africa as a continent, it seems like the greatest example of what happens when problems have been ignored for a long time. And I think that comes, the issues in Sudan are a whole other reflection of that, of a different tyranny, of clash of cultures, and I think for us, I think there are a few causes and few moments in time where the emergency is so apparent and so clear that we would have to be blind to miss it. And I think that's what's going on in Darfur and Sudan, and I think that's true for a lot of what's happening in Africa beyond Darfur and Sudan, and with poverty and with the pandemic of AIDS. So for us, we really had a personal experience that I think pushed it over the edge for us.
I heard you talking about your music and using your music, which I think is so effective in raising awareness for situations like this. Is that fair to say?
I think, we want to go one step further than awareness and say we're actually trying to take action with our music and have a direct effect, not just, I think there's been, 20 years, 25 years of a lot of awareness. And awareness is good, but action is better. And so what we started was when we were in Africa, we recorded a couple children's choirs. And that just kind of is throughout our record. And we couldn't ignore that we needed to use that to give people a way to reach through and actually touch the problem. And so we started with a song called Great Divide, so people can buy that, and it benefits a research hospital in Soweto, South Africa. And basically they're focused on mother-to-child transmission of AIDS, stopping the cycle so that babies aren't born with the disease. And I think we've just been constantly searching to say what are tangible tools we can give people. We don't need to create our own fund or start our own organization. We need to draw attention to the great organizations and people that are out there so that we can actually do something and provide opportunities, I think, for people to take action. I think there's been a few really good examples recently of amazing awareness campaigns that have had maybe less than stellar result of saying you get all these people that are ready, and then you have to be prepared to give them a mission. So our own microcosm of a mission has been our music, starting with Great Divide and going directly to doctors. And the second wave of that has been what we've done with the album and the Walk tour. The Walk is the name of the record, and we partnered with a shoe company called Tom's, and we were talking about this before. Tom's, a simple idea. They said every time we sell a pair of shoes, we're going to give a pair away, and we decided to launch this kind of a way to give people kind of a connection to that message by doing barefoot 1 mile walks with each of our shows. And the idea is to help them sell 50,000 pairs of shoes. And actually today we reached that goal, and literally in 48 hours, the first wave of Tom's shoes are going to go to Africa and be delivered one by one. And we're going to be close behind them to literally go to villages and put them on kids' feet.
You're so young to have such insight and to be so powerful in helping so many people. I mean, a lot of people your age are just wondering what what tomorrow is going to bring. And here you are really focusing on the big picture. We have a lot of young viewers,
Yes.
right around the 18 to 34 range. What can you say to them about how they can make a difference in the lives of others?
Well, I think one of the greatest, most underestimated resource in this country is youth. We're underestimated. People don't expect young people to do something, and
Until
I think
they're 25.
you can't rent a car until you're 25. I mean, that's an epidemic in this country. Is you can't really do anything until you're one day successful. And I think that's the call to action for us as a generation is awareness, especially on issues like with AIDS and poverty, and issues with war-torn nations. That there's been awareness for 20 years. I think the call for us is let's be the action generation. I mean, let's turn away the scowls of people saying, oh, you guys are the passive, comfortable, aloof, spoiled generation, which is what we've been.
All we care about is Paris Hilton and Britney Spears. Let's do something meaningful.
And maybe we'll wake up in a few years and realize that our culture cares about really making a difference.